Right, I was just watching a video, right, at the Mayweather gym prediction. Who wins out of Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua? Let's see what they got to say, right? Then we'll talk about it, and you can leave your comments in the box below.
Big boys again, heavyweight.
Hold on.
Fury
We'll go back.
versus Joshua.
Do a little breakdown. By the way, I love the Mayweather gym because their predictions are always accurate, and these guys know what they're talking about. They've got a lot more expertise than you and I have got. It's very likely, right, whoever's watching has not got more boxing intelligence and understanding with regards to fights and who wins and styles, and really understands boxing. These guys are the best in the business, right, the Mayweathers, and he's interviewing top fighters, Roy Jones, former world champions. So I stay firm on my prediction. I'm telling you, there's only one winner. Tyson Fury beats Joshua if the fight happens. We're not even guaranteed that the fight's going to happen this year because of this COVID, and that's another question I'm going to get into. But let's see what they got to say, right?
Crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy for.
What's your prediction for the fight? Prediction? Yeah, motherfucker. Hey. Hey. Oh, come on, Mike Wayne. I could be both. This is one hand time. Okay. Potential upcoming fight. Fury, Anthony Joshua. That's a good fight. It's a good call, Jeff. It depends on which Fury shows up, because what people have to realize is that Fury didn't really self-destruct last time until he became champion. Right. So the question is going to be this time, can he handle success? Can he hold himself together? Or will he go back down that same road again? If he go down that same road again, of course Joshua going to beat him. If he don't go down that road, if he stays motivated, then I think he'll beat Joshua. All right. Sounds good. One for Fury.
Right, you got it. Roy Jones says Tyson Fury wins. You've heard that, right? That's not me saying. Next person.
The big boys again, heavyweight. Fury versus Joshua. Who you think got that one? Well, I would lean toward Fury. I mean, Fury showed that he had great strategy against Wilder, in which I think Wilder is a much bigger puncher than AJ. But don't get me wrong, AJ did show that he can box a little bit, but he can't outbox. He definitely can't outbox Wilder. And that's the thing, is that Wilder, I keep saying Wilder, but I mean Fury. Fury at 273 pounds still was elusive and still could fight, as he did when he was a much smaller guy. So, right now, I gotta take my hat off to Fury, and he proved everything I said that was gonna happen. It didn't, and he proved me completely wrong, and I take my hat off to him. There's only one Tyson Fury. Anyways, Bomb Squad. We win a trilogy. Wilder gonna knock his
Right, that's another person. That's Jeff Mayweather. You guys must know Jeff Mayweather is former world champion, Floyd Mayweather's uncle, and obviously he's a world-class trainer who's produced world champions. You've heard it already, right? So Roy Jones said Tyson Fury will win. Jeff Mayweather said Tyson Fury will win. Let's keep going, there's more interviews, right? So it's not just me saying it, these people are experts. They know the sport inside and out.
Okay, we gotta get a trilogy.
I gotta take Tyson Fury right now. Yeah. Anthony Joshua last time, what happened with Ruiz, and then, he came back and he beat him, but it wasn't anything too super impressive, so I gotta take. Huh?
Who you can box?
Fury?
No, I know.
Joshua.
Another one for Tyson Fury, right?
He can't outbox Fury, though.
It just depends. Styles make the fights, but Fury's a big man, and I pick.
That's what I like about this channel and these experts. They don't just give you the prediction of who's going to win, they explain intelligently why. Now I think a lot of the comments that some of you wrote on the video, it's not intelligent. You're speaking from your emotion, your ego, because you're taking it personal, and I'm not taking it personal. And these guys are not taking it personal, they're just being honest about who wins, why, I'm not saying that some of the things some of you said weren't, I'm not saying all of it. Some of it was intelligent, and obviously you're entitled to your opinion, but it doesn't make you right. And these guys know the sport, and they're very accurate, and they're explaining why, and they're not biased. That's why I'm going to this channel, because they're not biased. They're not picking Fury to win because they like Fury better. They're just saying who's going to win out the two. And believe me, if they fought Joshua, they would say it. So let's keep going. That's 3 votes already in this interview.
Pick Fury in the fight.
Same thing, Fury. Fury's gonna outbox him.
4, another person. So it's good on this channel, I don't know all the people they interview, but they ask experts, elite world champions who's going to win, so they get a good variety of opinions.
2 for Fury. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury.
See, this is Leonard Ellaby. Obviously, I'm sure you know who that is. Works alongside with Mayweather. Without hesitation, he said Tyson Fury. So many experts, so...
Thinks he's the better fighter.
See?
Good enough.
And that's what I'm saying. The real experts know, I'm telling you, the real experts know that Tyson Fury is a better fighter than Anthony Joshua. And it's not saying that Joshua's not good, he's just not better than Fury.
AJ's a very good fighter too. I think the styles make fights, and he would create all kind of nightmares for...
I've been saying the same thing. Styles do make fights. Fury's style for Joshua is a nightmare. Joshua's style for Fury is not a nightmare. It's nothing he hasn't seen before.
For Joshua. I mean, AJ Fury, right now, Fury is on the road, man. Fury has proven that he's the best heavyweight right now. I mean, back in the day, I always used to say AJ was a better fighter, but I mean, after seeing Fury and...
You see, I like that. That's what I said. Even people that back in the day thought Joshua was a better fighter than Fury, as their careers have gone on and progressed, and they've seen the fights, the way the fighters have grown, they've changed their mind. And that's what I was trying to say. I think I said this in a video I haven't uploaded yet, that when Joshua beat Klitschko, that was the best performance I'd seen of Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, because he proved in that fight, he had loads of heart, but he hasn't been consistent, following on from that Klitschko fight. I don't think he's the same fighter after Andy Ruiz beat him. I really do. That's another subject we can get into. By the way, let me know in the box below if you think this fight's going to happen this year. I'm not sure, right, with the COVID, because of the, not being able to get a crowd in. Obviously, this fight, it's very important about the money, obviously, right? Not for me and the fans, but for the fighters, the promotion, the people involved, the managers and all that. So if they can't make the money that the fight would definitely make without a crowd, I don't know if it's going to go ahead. But then again, you could argue that if they wait any longer, we don't know when this virus is going to be finished up. So they've got to do the fight at some point, otherwise, time will catch up. Father time, sorry.
Wilder, and the second fight, he's proving that he can do different things. And coming from, looking back to...
I said that again, this is an expert boxer. I like this guy who says the truth. Tyson's proven he can do different things. He can mix things up. Some of you might argue and say, yeah, but Joshua can do different things. But I don't think he can do it as good as Fury can. He can't adapt as good. He hasn't proven that in his track record.
AJ's fight, in his last performance, I think Fury has the upper hand on him. Fury can do a lot of different things. Fury is slick, he can punch. Not really a puncher, but he knows how to use his size. And AJ on his side, right now he's on his shells. He's a gun shy right now. So I think I'll go with Fury.
That's very true, and that, for those of you who don't know, AJ has become gun shy. Even you could see in his last fight with Pulev, he's gun shy, is scared of getting hit, he's shying away, because since he got knocked out by Andy Ruiz, he's extremely cautious, right? And I think I agree with Telly Atlas, he's over cautious. It's good to be cautious, obviously, switched on, and you don't want to get hit, but there's a point where it's not good to where you're so frightened of getting hit. It's not going to work in his favour against Fury or the top guys. That worked against Pulev, but there's no point even talking about the level of Pulev and Joshua. No disrespect to Pulev, but there's no point even having that conversation.
If there's a fight right now, Fury's on the road. He's a better fighter right now.
AJ, potential. AJ against Fury.
Fury too much for AJ. Fury too much for AJ, and AJ don't have that water instinct to destroy. So Fury gonna play with him.
See? You know what?
Man, Tyson definitely showed his thing, like even more than he did the first fight with Deontay. Because I mean, he was winning the fight.
Do you know what, right? I'll leave you guys to watch the rest of the video, right? I'm not going to drag the whole thing out, but I'll leave a link so you can watch this for yourself, right? But I'm sure you can hear it from the audio, right? They're all favouring Tyson Fury, and yeah, this was 10 months ago, but it's only 10 months ago, and you know, opinion's not going to change it in that time. And I've seen other experts. So for me, there's only one winner in this fight, like I said before, and all the reasons that the experts in the Mayweather gym gave, I gave pretty much the same reasons in the first prediction video I did on Joshua versus Fury. So I'll leave a link to that. If you haven't seen that, you can check that. You can add your comments. It's got a lot of comments, right? Never really planned to do boxing videos. It's not a boxing channel, but I'm a boxing fan. I've been watching it over 20 years. So, I know what I'm talking about, and I study boxing. I love boxing. I love studying the styles and looking at the strengths and their strengths outside the ring, inside the ring. And I just think, you know, every time you say, yeah, but Joshua's got that, it's like, yeah, he has got that, but Fury's a bit better. You know, of course, Anthony Joshua's mentally strong. He'd have to be an Olympic gold medalist and to be a unified world champion. But Tyson Fury's more mentally stronger than him. You know, Tyson Fury's fitter than Joshua. Anyone who says that he's not fitter is just you're just not speaking the truth. You're just being silly. You know, it's like two kids have an argument and you're just saying things for the sake of winning arguments. And it's not about winning arguments. It's about telling the truth. Tyson Fury could go 15 rounds. You know, Joshua has proven time and time again he gets tired before 10 rounds. He got tired in the Dillian White fight. You know, he got tired in the Andy Ruiz. He's got tired in many fights, and you never see Fury get tired like that. You never do. And someone made a comment, which is silly. He goes, all boxers get tired. I mean, that's a bit unintelligent. Yeah, but some more than others. And Tyson Fury's fitter than Anthony Joshua naturally in a boxing fight. I'm not talking about running, lifting weights. That's a whole different matter. We're not on about a weightlifting competition or who has bigger muscles. That's not boxing, fighting. In the ring, Tyson Fury's fitter than Joshua. He's proven it. He's got better footwork. He's got better movement. He's got a better jab. He's got a better defense. What I'd have to say, Joshua is more powerful in combinations. So you give him that. And okay, Joshua has got a nice signature uppercut on the inside. You give him that. But that doesn't change my opinion. It doesn't override all of the other strengths that Fury's got, and Fury's got more heart than Joshua. Anyone says any different does not know what they're talking about, and they're just being silly. They're not being honest. They're just speaking because it's anger. It's a reaction from your own. You know, you feel like your own ego's being jeopardized when I'm not. Just speaking facts and the truth. And all these guys in the Mayweather gym said it. Check it out for yourself. But anyway, listen, you might disagree with me. You're entitled to your opinion, right? And like I said, I don't take it personal. I'm not going to fall out with people or just over a boxing match, but I'm still going to stand my ground on what I believe to be true and who's going to win, and it's the Gypsy King, if it goes ahead, that is, and that's what we're not sure. We can get into that in the comments below. I'm really pleased that some of you enjoyed my boxing videos, because this is probably a side of me that I've never shown on the channel, because originally the channel, and it still is for confidence, you know, dating, anxiety, advice, stuff like that. But boxing is something that I've always been a fan of, and I've got a really great respect for fighters and boxers, and I trained a lot in the gyms, and it really helped me in my life to be more confident and just, you know, be honest and stuff in so many ways. So I watch it, you know, I spend sometimes my hard-earned money on the pay-per-view fights. And for those of you, you know, I appreciate, some of you have got really, really good expertise. But yeah, let us know still in the box below. It's good to get a variety of opinions, and like I've said, if I'm wrong, I put my hands up, and if Joshua won, no excuses. I'd say, you know what, I was wrong. Pretty much all the experts got it wrong. And of course, anything can happen in boxing, but we can't go on that. You know, when you say a puncher's chance, he could knock him out, the likelihood is it's unlikely he's going to knock Fury out. Fury's never been knocked out. Joshua has been beaten. Fury's never been beaten. Fury's beaten the most dangerous heavyweight on the planet. And Joshua didn't even fight the most dangerous heavyweight on the planet. He has never fought any boxer with Wilder's power. And that's a huge advantage in this fight, and how Fury's learned and grown, and he's been in the trenches. Every time Fury's been in the trenches, has he answered questions? 100%. When Joshua's been in the trenches, has he been able to answer those questions? Well, that's a question I'll leave to you guys. In my opinion, no. Because when he was unstuck with Andy Ruiz, and when he was on the receiving end, he fell apart. Now, yes, like I will give credit, my favourite Joshua fight is the Klitschko one. I thought he was 10 out of 10 that fight. It was like he was so up for it in that fight. But I haven't seen that consistent heart played out. I didn't see that Joshua when he fought Andy Ruiz, who fell apart with whatever fear, anxiety, or he couldn't cope. You've got to give Andy Ruiz credit as well. We often say, oh, Joshua had he had some anxiety before the fight, right? But we're not. You've got to look how well look, we've got to remember, Andy Ruiz got off the floor to do that to Joshua. So he got off the floor. So Andy Ruiz is a great fighter. Second fight, I don't know what he did, right? That's down to him. That's his fault. He shouldn't have come in overweight like that. That's not Joshua's fault. That's his problem, right? So not make excuses on that. And yeah, give Joshua credit. He came back. I didn't think it was a great performance, but you've got to give him credit. He came back and he won the rematch, but he still lost the first one. And Fury hasn't been beaten yet. Those questions have been answered to Fury of every adversity. And I don't want to hear, people, let me just make a point of saying, people say stupid things like, Fury struggled with Otto Wallin. No, he didn't struggle with Otto Wallin. That's a load of bollocks. People take things out of context. Fury battered Otto Wallin. Fury got a terrible cut. He struggled with the cut and got through it. I don't think Anthony Joshua could have fought on with a cut that Fury had. Let me actually reiterate that. I don't think most heavyweights out there would have been able to keep fighting with the cut. So, just because Otto Wallin had a few good moments doesn't qualify him to have given Fury a hard time. Fury, if you look at the fight properly and score it round by round, Fury pretty much won every round. He battered him and he beat Tom Swartz. And, obviously that's down to Fury. We all know that Fury doesn't take it that serious when he's fighting lower opposition. He doesn't seem to get motivated, but the point is, he still wins. He gets the result. He finds a way to win. And I'm not going to buy that. That's a load of bullshit. I watched that fight. I remember it clearly. And I remember when Fury got cut, I was worried would they stop it, right? And that can happen in fights. And that shows what a champion is. He got off the floor with that shot of Wilder. Overcome that fight, beat him in the rematch, And before the second Wilder fight, gets a terrible cut on his eye, which is a terrible cut. He's pouring with blood, right? He's fighting with one eye. He beat Otto Wallin for most of the fight of one eye. And what I loved about that fight, Fury made, like Mayweather says, he adapted. When he knew I could lose this on the cut here, not because I'm losing the fight, because if it gets stopped on a cut or, if I can't fight on, and he just went straight for Otto Wallin and started attacking his body. That's what I love. Fury shows all different sides. He adapts. He is a chameleon. Exactly in a different way. They're very different, but in a very similar way to what Mayweather does to people. Mayweather will adapt to whoever is in front of him. Like Bruce Lee says, to get philosophical, Mayweather will make the shape that he needs to make to win the fight on the night. Fury does the same. Fury adapts, puts the water into the teapot, puts it in the cup, the basket, any shape Fury makes. And Anthony Joshua doesn't have that in his armory, in his locker, to adapt on that level. He just hasn't got it, all right? So there we go, become fearless.